Are we recording? Are we doing this?
I don't know.
Yeah. So, this is the Laugh at Everything podcast. We've got the two new people here in the studio with us today. It's going to be an epic adventure for years.
He says in the studio. What?
We'll go ahead and do a round of introducing. We'll start off with me, Wes.
Me, Josh.
Me, Wendy.
Me, Matt.
Alright, so we've got a whole bunch of me's.
Kobe.
We're all of the Asian descent.
Okay, so right before we started, Wes was like, I have a topic, but...
Oh, yeah, I totally forgot that. Oh, no, okay, yeah. No, so we have Wendy's joining us for the first time.
Right.
She's finally, she has begged and begged and begged for...
yeah, I'm sure.
Every day of my life.
She's like, why don't you invite me to your podcast? Do you not love me in front of your friends? Well, basically, no.
No, he loves you always.
See, the problem
Keep
is,
this recording.
Wendy is funny, and I'm not talking just about looks.
Makes sense.
Boing flip. No, Wendy's funny, and I will steal her jokes. So,
Yes, he will. Oh my goodness.
what happens?
She's listening.
I'll tell it, and he'll be like, "Oh, that's a good one," and he'll say it. And I'm like, "That was mine."
No. What happens is she'll tell it, and then I'll steal it, and she'll be like, "That was mine." I'm like, "No."
I just literally said that exact same story.
That is so funny.
We're gonna have to launch an Instagram campaign.
Yes.
Against your joke.
Yeah,
Joke
I'm gonna have to.
I'm gonna cancel
That's
you.
how we'll
what
bring
I'm
it
doing.
down.
No,
Cancel culture is in fashion, motherfucker.
cancel culture.
Yeah, cancel
Yeah,
culture.
it really is.
Did you say cancer?
Cancer culture.
Cancer
Cancer
culture.
culture.
No,
Cancel.
cancel culture.
That's like that meme I saw. I think Wendy showed it to me. Is white girls will hit you with a car, be like, "Oh, sorry, it's because I'm a Capri Sun." It's like,
I saw that.
that's so good.
Astrology girls.
Yeah.
Like the, what is it? Like
Capricorn.
Yeah, Capricorn. Like
Oh, typical Wendy. She knew it.
I know all of them.
What are the other
Leo,
ones?
I'm a
Virgo.
Capri Sun.
You're a Capri Sun.
Oh my god, sorry.
I'm an El Toro. It's okay.
I'm just intrigued by cancer culture. No,
Oh, so
let's-
it's cancer culture. What is?
no, we don't have to go there.
People who are toxic, I guess. Like if you're cancer, like you're literal cancer.
Oh, I thought you said cancel culture.
Oh no, we did.
Wait, did we say
Now
cancel?
I'm joking about cancer culture. As if there
Oh
was
my
like
god!
No,
I'm sure that's a
cancel
thing on Reddit. Let's be
culture.
honest.
Someone tell us, where are we?
Cancel culture is like the Fire Festival, right? Kind of like that whole thing where like people are getting called out on social
So,
media and their events
what
being
is
canceled.
the fire
or their movements.
festival? I've heard some things about
It
it,
was
but I
like-
don't actually know.
I haven't watched the documentaries because there's two on Hulu
I've seen
and
both.
Netflix. Have you?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have more information, Matt.
You
Let's
want me to?
go.
Okay,
It's-
I'll
it's
try and break it down.
This
So,
this big festival that everybody paid money to.
All these
to
hot
go.
models.
turned out to be a scam, like a big kind of
How do you scam that?
monolithic event of false advertising. So it's like Ja Rule. You remember Ja Rule,
No,
the
I
rapper?
don't. Who?
You guys know Ja Rule?
Who is he?
I don't.
He was like super popular in the early 2000s.
Is he R. Kelly's cousin?
Jesus fucking Christ, no. Anyway,
It's
him
not
and this other
unimportant, he is.
scam artist, they advertised for this like super exotic
Like-
festival on an island where you'll be in a villa and all this, and then it turns out like a week before the actual event, they had none of that set up. It was just this big clusterfuck.
Wow.
People get out there, they're stranded, there's no food, there's like these shitty FEMA tents where they paid for like villas.
Wait, how did they?
Yeah.
How'd they get stranded out there? They're just like, oh, I've got $2,000 left to my name. Time to buy a ticket to
Because they
Bora
were
Bora."
on like a island without like a major airport.
Oh,
So they
that's
took
a
like
mistake.
a small plane there.
I wouldn't even go to Hawaii, and
Yeah.
we there's lots of people that are flying to Hawaii now.
Oof, yeah.
I would fly to Hawaii.
Yeah, I might.
Sounds nice
I
as
guess.
shit.
I would live in Hawaii.
Really, the cost of living there is so expensive.
So?
What would
I
you
just want
do?
to say that I would do.
I thought everybody like worked on the beach there. How would
I mean, you have to. That's all there is.
well, then how would cost of living be expensive?
Hey, there's a
I don't
Fenway.
know. I know like their
place.
milk is like $8 or $9
Yeah,
a
it's a
gallon.
lot.
Jesus.
It's because they don't have cows. And they
I would
have
not
to
drink
have
milk.
milk.
Quite a bit, yeah.
Like
I hate
cereal.
milk, so I'm fine.
You're
No,
fine.
we're
serious. I don't have to
Oh
buy
my
milk.
god, that brings me to the first topic that I wanted to talk
Milk.
about.
Okay,
And
let's go.
yeah, this bothers me for a really long time. So, you got the regular milk, right?
Yeah.
And I guess humans
Show me
produce
the
milk.
tits on an almond.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh my god! How many things can you milk? You've got coconut milk. You've got almond milk. I've heard
knew
of
it.
cockroach milk.
I
Which,
knew-
what the hell is
I knew
that?
that's where you were going.
How many
They do
things
have
can you
things.
milk? Can I have
Cockroach.
like rubber tire milk? Is that? It's the newest thing. It's vegan. 100% rubber tire milk.
1000% toxic.
Talk
So
about
what is
cancer
almond
society.
milk though? Like,
what the
is
fuck is
actual
almond?
milk
Yeah,
of
what
an
is almond milk? It's like they got a whole bunch of almonds and compressed them down to the size of a black hole.
Do they have teeny tiny little titties?
Do they?
Teeny
Do the
tiny.
little baby almonds suckle at the teat of the mother almonds, and
I don't know what happens in that plant.
before the baby swallows it, you hit it on the back of the head and it spits it out into a
I've
pail
never
or
seen
something?
evidence against it.
I had just gotten out of a shower and I was in my room just changing, and then
Oh my God,
my roommate,
yeah,
hang on,
jealous
my
this.
roommate,
Were you naked?
my
Is
roommate
that
storms down the stairs, comes up to me, and just screams, "Show me the tits on an almond," and then walks back up. And I was like, I've never actually thought about that.
Yeah.
So like there is, I feel like it's just they're just mashing up the almonds like peanut butter. Like
Why
show
did
me
he
the.
do that though?
But wouldn't that make almond butter?
I love him.
Isn't that how almond butter is made?
Sure. So why isn't it like coconut butter? But like also coconuts have their own milk. So like why isn't it
It's
like?
just a more viscous
Right.
form of the butter,
Yeah.
probably.
Really?
What a word, dude.
Are you saying that I
Word of the
can,
day, all right?
are you saying that I can have peanut butter milk?
You already know, boy.
Oh,
It's
man.
2019.
I'm gonna have. I'm
I
gonna have
drink
all
my
the peanut butter
protein.
milk.
I mean,
That's right.
actually, yeah, a lot of
You
people
can have
drink their
Nutella
protein.
milk.
Yeah, that's just called chocolate milk.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, god dang.
Well,
No,
Nutella's a little
no.
bit different.
Nutella's hazelnuts.
Yeah, hazelnut is basically chocolate. If you don't think that, then
Dude,
come fight me.
Josh just had an aneurysm.
Like, yeah,
also,
I know it's different, but it's.
Forewarning, because I'm about to grab some of that king cake. We have aluminum foil like right next to the mic.
Oh yeah, you're just gonna go in there with full
no.
hands.
I mean, should I grab a fork and knife?
There's a
Yes.
fork and knife in the
Let's
hotel
go
room,
grab one.
at least.
Also, yes, we are still in Louisiana. Yes, we still eat king cake. And yes, it's almost Mardi Gras.
Is it?
No, it's over.
No,
Mardi
it's
Gras
all-
over.
Is it really?
Yes.
See,
Wait,
I don't
is
remember
it?
this shit.
I didn't
Pretty
think
sure
it was.
Fat Tuesday was like.
I thought it started in March. Like I
Bruh.
thought it was like March
Hold on,
3rd.
hold on.
At my way,
Let me-
every
let me make
Tuesday
sure.
is Fat Tuesday. So
We're in
Wait,
Louisiana. We have
We're not
no
gonna
idea.
Yeah, let me just confirm this.
I think it's March 3rd.
I got Fat Tuesday, Fat Wednesday, Fat Thursday. Bruh.
Shut the fuck up.
Every day that ends in Y with me is fat,
You're the
except for
worst.
tomorrow. Tomorrow's
Okay.
the day I'm gonna be good.
You're so detrimental to yourself.
Yeah, it's
No, I'm
normally in
just being true.
February.
Shut up.
Look,
It is?
Yeah, like it, but somehow it changes, so it's like February 13th, 16th, 25th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, look at that. Fuck me, you know?
not for free.
Hey, there's still
Not when
Parisian
Wendy's
truth, but
here.
It's still here.
Exactly. It's still.
Hey, get like 6
Okay.
altogether.
Yeah.
Or I guess 3 sets.
All right, we'll do. We'll do.
So the thing about Mardi Gras in Louisiana is that it just never ends. It's always Mardi Gras.
It is.
So it's just like, oh yeah, what day is it? Who cares, Mardi Gras?
Every Tuesday.
Yeah. Josh is walking out of the room.
No, it is gone.
My job.
Yeah. Now that he's gone.
Yeah. What's up with him?
So yeah, we got 2 new people. We got Wendy and Matt, and I think both of these people are interesting. Matt's nervous because he has no idea what to talk about. He's making the "I'm going to kill you" face now.
I think I'm good.
No,
I just have to kind of adjust my energy, I feel like, to be on a podcast.
Oh, you just bring
You
whatever
just
energy
pretend
you
like
want.
you're not on a podcast and you just talk.
Oh, that's hard to do, though.
Oh, no.
I'm not a good actor.
Look at the
Not
expert.
even an actor. You just.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. All
Secretly,
my
Wendy is
podcasts.
a podcast master. It's actually Wendy's actually Shane Dawson.
Yes, in disguise.
So,
It's
yeah.
Shane Dawson, yeah.
So what's been going on with the life of Matt? How's things been going?
Things have been going well. Just finished this quarter of school, so I have one left, and then I'll graduate, and then hopefully move somewhere like Colorado.
Oh yeah, you're trying to go to Colorado.
Yeah.
Any
somewhere
particular
like that.
reason other than I guess some of Colorado's better laws?
I don't even know about that, but
Yeah, I don't know. Just are you looking to do anything Pacific
It's
in
just,
Colorado?
beautiful, man.
We didn't
I want
have
to climb
forks.
mountains.
What do you mean we didn't have forks?
I didn't have forks.
I told you to get them in the.
I left my wallet in here.
Take the knife
Wow.
and stab it.
Oh,
and
you
make
could
a
have
knife.
used this.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, yeah, I've got forks.
All right, I'll be right back again.
No, that's fine. By the time he gets back, all the King Kicker will be on, so we'll just use forks.
Yeah,
it's
you can
fine.
go then.
There's no forks to grab.
We look.
Go grab
remember?
them real quick.
All right.
Did I ever talk about how forks? Yeah, I did with Prez and Kyle about how
Yes,
forks
about
are
the
just
tridents. They're like
they're just
Yeah.
miniaturized versions of your fingers that don't
Yeah,
move.
that's what the whole idea was.
Yeah.
Like a spoon is just.
All right, it's just for those of you that can't hear, the clicks mean that he's making a spoon with his hand. Freaking Josh. Yeah, so you missed that. We talked about how someone was eating with their hands one time and it was like, man, this would be so much easier if I could just do this, except it was metal and it didn't move, and smaller.
So you're saying eat with your hands?
I'm saying it's basically that's how humans naturally evolved.
Sure.
That's
I
what
just don't
separates
like the
us
feeling
from
of like
dogs.
glaze. You know what I mean? My hands being all dirty.
Well, that's
Yes, oh my god.
literally
really
that's
like
why you have a mouth. What else is that there for?
What do you mean?
What?
You have a mouth to go.
What do you mean? We have evolved. We're no longer apes.
Oh, don't even me, woman. You did that. That waitress was so shocked that one time. We were sitting in a restaurant. We were sitting in a restaurant. I think I might have told this before, but we were sitting in a restaurant and I think we got sushi or something. It was really messy, and Wendy's just got all this stuff on her hands. And the waitress comes by and she's like, "Oh, here's your check, whatever." And Wendy goes to reach for it, but before she does, she goes, "Nom, nom, 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 nom."
She made the noises?
Yeah, like everything, and hands the card to the waitress, and the waitress just goes.
Oh,
Like she had to go get some tongs and pick it up like that.
That's very
carry it.
dramatic.
She was like,
Whew.
I
I
was
do
like,
remember doing that, but I don't remember being that dramatic.
it was, she like held her hand in front of her mouth and just went.
and the waitress is just awkwardly sitting there like,
Anything else you want to pay with?
She was like, "No, I can't take that. No, we don't accept. What is that? It's a visa. We don't accept that
Visa
here."
all of a sudden. Anyways,
I got other cards. No, we don't accept anything you're touching right now.
So get ready for
Some
Yeah.
tinfoil hat. Josh is making the googly eyes at the king cake. That's sexist AF. Where's my queen cake?
No, that's true.
What is this? This is 2019, my
That could
lovers.
be your $1 billion company right there.
I've never been so suddenly exasperated before in
Yeah,
my life.
you should be, because you're about to give into the patriarchy here.
Seriously, dude. Start a company that sells queen cakes.
Queen cakes?
Yeah.
Can it be? I'll need like a really
What is that? Get
flamboyant.
sued. He's gonna make it exactly like a king cake. That's a queen cake.
Well, yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
think
like, except it
anyone
won't be as good.
owns- I don't think anyone owns the king cake.
Oh, if that's true, let's do it.
Yeah.
Dude, who's not gonna buy from us?
Like, okay, so like this brings
We'll
us
sell
back
it to
to
like
like
real sassy people.
it brings us
Yes,
back to in
queen.
kindergarten. Like I was Mardi Gras king, and we had a Mardi Gras queen. Like led the parade. And
Did
stuff.
they just assume you guys
How
genders?
Did you
or
get triggered?
Did they not even ask if y'all wanted to reverse the
Wow.
roles?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
What kind of masochistic place were you raised
Yeah,
in?
It was a different time.
What school is this?
Yeah, go ahead, blast this
Cancel
school. We'll find
culture.
them.
On this school.
You know what's funny though? Is like this mentality. Like a lot of people are like that nowadays.
No, that's what people are doing. Like Kevin Hart had to apologize for like jokes he made 10
His
years
jokes
ago.
were a little bit much, though. I feel
It's
like his
Kevin
jokes
Hart.
just crossed the line.
Yeah, they were a little bit much.
They
But
were
What are you
kind of-
talking about?
I agree. Like I am of the mindset that comedians have not a pass, but they do have privilege to like make a shitty joke, and
Sure.
it makes
That's
that
the
joke.
whole point of
Yeah,
the
the
joke.
joke, exactly.
Yeah, but
That's what I'm saying.
satirizing that type of ideal, I think it's fine. It's okay to make humor about that, but just say like, if my kid's gay, I'm gonna slap the shit out of him. Like,
Yeah.
there's no joke.
It's like,
in
is
it.
that satire?
Look,
Yeah, it's just
it
kinda
doesn't matter if my
fucking
kid's gay or
rude.
not. I'm gonna slap the shit out of him. That's just
Yeah, but that's not what he
I'm
said.
calling.
That would
I'm
be a funny
preemptively
joke.
calling.
That would be a
Yes.
good twist on the joke, but he didn't even take it there.
When they have
Look.
kids, take them from them.
right.
CPS will be on your
Yeah,
ass.
right.
What I don't like is that everybody makes times change, and obviously the field, I guess, of
Yeah.
funny changes as well.
Yeah.
But
I'm
only
not trying
certain
to cancel
people are.
Kevin Hart.
Only
You know,
only certain
I'm not
people are
trying to
getting caught
cancel
out. Like Disney's made some racist ass shit,
Oh yeah.
and ain't nobody talking about
Oh,
it.
God.
Even if
Well,
you do
people
talk about it, it doesn't matter. What happened? Like, what are
What are
you
we gonna
gonna
do?
say?
Cancel Disney?
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody just
Cancel Disney.
Yeah.
I'm done with them.
I'm done with them.
But
Boycotting
also,
them.
I
talk-
really
It's-
love Hannah Montana. So.
It's changed as far as that about like cancel culture has changed. Back in the Gap, it was only the newspapers exposing people. Now anyone has the
you have
ability.
the internet, so it's like
Yeah, anyone has the ability to. Because like back in the Gap, like with Tab Hunter, have you seen anything about Tab Hunter?
I don't
ever?
even know who that is.
He was an old, like really, really popular actor. He was gay, and he was behind the scenes. He was closeted. And Disney, not Disney, Warner Brothers, I want to say, was like his company. Yes, keep going.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Get there, kid.
We're cutting into the king cake, by the way. Josh is not fantasizing about Whoever guy he's talking about.
Okay, so Tab Hunter. All right.
Right.
Tab Hunter?
And
Okay.
and the second that he dropped his company, basically, the newspapers ran wild with it because it turns out behind the scenes the company was like, if you print that, we will give you hell. And the companies were fighting each other and they could do that. They had the power. But now it's just individuals and no one cares. Like, no one cares if Kevin Hart gets called out. They're just people.
So that's what, to really go off the subject here.
Yeah, do it.
We were at Walmart the other day and you see tabloids still.
What?
Tabloids. Like,
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
who still prints this? Who still reads this?
People do.
I mean, a lot of people
I've
do,
seen
yeah.
people grab them and still buy them in Walmart.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the big
Wow, these
business,
people.
That's actually been in the news lately. Was the National Enquirer, like the biggest tabloid that exists, basically trying to blackmail Jeff Bezos with his nude photos.
Yes, precisely.
Yes, and apparently they were being backed by Trump, and they also bought a bunch of negative stories that
Look,
would have gone against Trump and then suppressed them. So
if anybody is trying to blackmail me with my nude photos, I'm gonna
Sure.
switch it on. I'm gonna be like, look, you don't have to pay me to not release these.
well, that's kind of what Jeff Bezos did.
Yeah,
Not saying pay me, but he like literally
Right.
just
Like,
came out and
dude.
was like, "Did you see that?" He wrote this long blog article on Medium where it was like, he basically just called him out and was like, "If they're gonna release my nude photos, then I'd rather them release that than to back down, from the National Enquirer."
I mean, really, what is a nude photo now?
It's just a penis.
I mean,
As I've seen.
well, I
penis
mean, thing
before.
is, what was
Yeah.
so?
and balls.
Have you watched the Shane Dawson stuff yet?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
so the first one or whatever with the
Conspiracy theories?
the putting the face on
Oh,
some other
yeah.
people, like, what the fuck? Who cares? Anybody's
Oh, are y'all
face can
talking
be.
about the fake?
It's like
Yeah,
fake
porn?
porn,
Fake
basically.
porn?
Basically, yeah.
What's
Or-
the name for it? There's a name for it. Deep fakes. Deep
Yes,
fakes.
Deep
Exactly.
fakes.
Yeah.
Why is it called deep fakes? That's
I think the company that originally started it was named that.
oh yeah.
It
I
just
don't know
makes
for
me
sure.
think that it's like it's a deep fake, as in like it is deep. It's like so good, the technology.
Oh, I
makes it
thought
look
they were
so
talking
real.
about
yeah.
like how far it is into your body.
Or it could be that it was on the deep web, associated with the deep web.
Yes.
That's
Yes,
it.
but
Yes, sorry, that went right over my head.
That's
damn
fine, that's where
it.
it was supposed to go.
Well, for
I mean, yeah, so what's
your
the
mom
point?
that still listens to
What
these.
started
hi,
that
Mom.
tangent?
Yeah, I don't know,
We went
Josh.
from Tab Hunter to National Enquirer.
Oh, dude, welcome to the
deep fakes.
podcast.
Yeah,
Fuck.
this is how
We
we
have
do.
no semblance of
Actually,
like.
I mentioned that to Wesley. I said, like, I'll never finish. There's actually one story, and I wish I could find it. So Wesley, where he like went off on something, and then all of a sudden, someone in the room said, "Let me add something to that."
And
I
to
was like,
interrupt her
"Okay,
really
that's fine.
quick.
Shut your mouth." I was like, "That's fine. Maybe we'll go back and listen to what Wesley has to say." And they never did. They're just like,
Yeah.
"We're gonna move on." And I was like, "Are you
Yeah.
serious?" Like, I
Let's
was
try
on a
it this
cliff.
time. Who started it? And we can kind of circle back. Was it you talking about Tab
Tab Hunter, yeah.
So what did you make your point or?
Just talking about like how you can parallel how the companies used to like fight each other behind the scenes to keep out these.
Oh yeah, we were
These
talking
high-profile
about,
stories.
We were talking about how Kevin Hart made some
Yeah.
bad
Oh,
jokes.
back to Kevin Hart.
Yeah, and then like you can parallel that to how Kevin Hart, like nobody's gonna give a fuck about protecting Kevin Hart because what he did was in a lot of people's eyes was shitty, and so
Sure.
these people are gonna just call him out massively, and then the internet just takes over.
I feel you though. I do think that there's like a blurred line between like what's not okay and what is okay, and then that the world is a little bit too PC
I think his
right now.
reasoning on it is though that like that was so long ago, and he apologized
Yeah,
for it.
sure.
Yeah,
sure.
But
That
he
needs to
even
be taken.
added, and I agree with that. He even added, like, I apologize for what I said.
Yeah.
He's like, I have changed, but at the same time, like, that was a long time ago.
Right.
Absolutely.
Times
Yeah.
have changed, and that context is so key. Context is always key.
Well, I mean, yeah, even if you think about how, you grew up, and I don't know how it was for you guys, but, even in high school, for me, it's like, oh, yeah, it's gay, you're gay, whatever, ha, ha, ha,
Yeah.
slapping each other with our
Wieners?
genitalia. Yeah. And, it's just something that I guess you made fun of people for, and it's a shitty thing to do now that you think about it, but, I mean, I got made fun of a lot,
Did
too,
you
so.
slap? Did you and your friends slap each other with your wieners?
I never did.
And
They
elders?
they played gay chicken.
That's convenient that you never did.
Yeah.
He's like, I never did, but
I never
I
did.
never did, but I know
It
people that
happened.
did it around me.
Wendy knows why I never did.
Wait, so y'all
What?
played? Did you? Say,
I don't know what that means, but it's a good inside joke. Damn, good shit.
Did you say gay chicken though?
Yeah, gay chicken.
What the hell is
That's
gay
where
chicken?
you
Yeah.
basically like come together like you're about to make out, and then whoever
Stops
first is
Oh, yeah, I
the
remember
loser
that.
or whatever.
Loser.
I've done that.
Guess who started that?
The
gay
Josh.
boy.
Yeah, they did.
He's probably that's a smart gay boy. He's like, bet
You fucking chicken.
you coward. I bet you won't kiss me, bitch.
Yeah, that's funny.
And then mine are like,
That reminds me of my story last week about the guy with the fight or fuck.
I don't.
Went to Applebee's and this guy was like harassing the bartender. He's like, "You got two options." He's like, "You can fight, or you can fuck." It was like the logic behind this guy is just phenomenal. You
Men
know?
are just fucking stupid.
I think it's
and pigs.
fight or flight, not.
That's what I said. I was like, I thought you got this mixed up.
Fight
Man.
or fuck.
He put his own twist on that. I respect that.
Yeah.
He's saying fuck it in a whole different way. You know?
Yeah, right, exactly.
But no, like we did stupid stuff, and it's. I hate to think that I made fun of anybody for how they were, but
And that's why, with that
can't.
context, that's why I admire a lot of people who came out like originally first.
I'll still call him facts.
Like Ellen back in the Gap, pioneered.
Yeah.
The thing about Ellen, she can be funny, but she can be cringy too, and it's just like,
That's a bit too
I feel like,
cringy.
I feel like every
I like her, though.
comedian can be.
Yeah. I just kind of think of Ellen as like I think of Jimmy Fallon. You know what I mean? It's just kind of a bit too.
Oh, be
try
careful!
hard.
Wendy's about to come across this table.
Actually,
at you.
well, my girlfriend loves Jimmy Fallon too, and her whole family they love him.
So I think,
But to me, he's a little bit cringy.
I have seen a lot of things where that he's like, "Oh, where are you from?" And they're like, "Oh, I'm from Kansas City." He goes,
that kind of thing.
But there's
and he
also
slaps the
a lot of things that he like. I do think that he's funny. Like
Sure,
a lot of
yeah,
his,
yeah.
he's got some good jokes and some good bits.
Yeah.
And even
of course.
so, he just seems like a fun, goofy guy.
What about Jimmy Fallon? Jimmy Fallon is just like it's almost like every time he has a guest on the show, he seems like that's the first time he's ever met them, and he's like, "I'm a fan." Like he's like a fanboy of everybody, and that's what's so great about him. That's why it's so like fun to watch.
That's a good take because I think that same thing is like kind of what makes me cringe because I feel like maybe he's coming off as fake.
Too
But-
strong. Too.
Yeah.
But
Sometimes it does feel like that because it'll be just like someone that you may never I've never seen before. And he's like, "Oh my god, I've seen all your things. I've watched everything." And I'm like, "How?"
Yeah.
So where have I been?
Me and Wendy have actually talked about this before, and she's got a really good idea about they're coming on to like promote whatever work they're doing.
Right.
He's trying to be like a hype man. He's trying to get them excited. So
Right.
I don't know. I think he's fun. I loved watching him. And
My
Jason Momoa.
my only problem with him, like wholeheartedly, is that he talks over them a lot, and I'm just like, let them speak.
I hate it when people talk over other people.
I know it's crazy, Wes.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Do you guys like Conan?
Conan's got some
I
good
don't
stuff.
mind him.
I don't watch
I like
him.
Conan.
But I
religiously.
like Jimmy more than Conan.
There you go.
Really?
Okay, you're good. You're good.
I think I like. What's his? He's kind of a chubbier fellow. He does like the late.
James Corden.
James Corden.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
Phenomenal.
he's funny.
I think he's more funny than.
I like him more for
a
his
lot.
singing now. He's good.
He does really good singing. He was really good in.
Into the woods. Yeah.
Into the woods.
Into the Woods. When he's
Oh,
about
he
to murder me.
popularized
Wicked.
carpool karaoke.
What a freak!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couple karaoke.
Yeah, that was his.
Don't make
I'm
noises.
sorry.
Get out.
I'm asleep now.
He already ejected.
I have been.
No, actually, I wanted to comment. That king cake is really good.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
good.
I was like trying to get Wesley like, do you have $50? Because
Because
No.
we need to get one of them.
because that's okay. It's not. You can't count those carbs. Those carbs are counted.
Well,
It's festival season. Yes.
Those
It's
are Mardi
been-
Gras carbs. They go away.
so yeah. I don't think so. I couldn't remember Mardi Gras, and
I
so
don't accept this negativity in my life. Josh.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember Mardi Gras. So I was like, it's the celebration of Jesus dying or something.
That's what he told me. And I was like,
And Wendy's like, what the hell are you talking
What
about? I was
the-
like, sorry. When
Mardi
he came
Gras.
back, the good time or whatever.
Are you even from Louisiana?
no.
Are you? Bless his heart.
Bless your heart, child.
Oh man. So back to the comedians.
Should we though? I feel like we talked about that.
So I
Yeah,
think,
people
First
can
off,
change.
y'all spent 3 episodes talking about tips. So
oh snap! And Wendy's on my
Let's
side.
be
by the way.
honest.
Wendy's not.
What is
She has to be. She's legally
I'm-
obligated. I
I'm
paid $27.50,
an
bitch.
innocent bystander. You did not.
You're an innocent.
That's how much the
bystander.
married license was.
I want to swoop everyone into this conversation.
No, we'll do it a little bit.
Oh
we
my
don't need
God.
to.
No, we're not. We're not talking about
No,
tits this
we're
whole
not.
Ah,
thing.
I fucking hate
No,
Tinder.
I feel like Jan would like cut my throat
So-
through the internet.
I want
Has he
Wendy
told you that
to.
it's annoying talking about tips?
No.
I want Wendy
He
just
agrees more with
to
me.
say, to express it so it's not just me. And anyone that knows Wendy knows that I can't force her to say anything. We have really bad luck, like incredibly bad luck.
Yeah, I
with
don't think when
places.
you hear him tell like, "Hey, we have bad service," I don't think you understand. I've had waitresses quit, not because of us. I've had
walk
it
out.
multiple times.
went to like, damn.
No, not because no, we're really like Wesley gets mad at me because I'm like over here and we've had terrible service and I'm like, here's your 15%, and he's like, why are you doing this? And I'm like, because they need it. I can't not. And he gets so mad. Like he's never not tipped.
I feel bad for not tipping, but it's like
He's always tipped. So before, I don't want y'all, anybody listening, to think that Wesley's talking, because when I hear it, I'm like, dang, he sounds like you're like a stiff. He tips.
I don't tip at all.
I've had it to where like we'll sit there for an hour, not had service, and finally a manager will walk over and be like, oh yeah, so they quit. And I'll be your server now. And I'll be like, okay. And then the manager is awful, and we'll be sitting there another. We've been at places where we've gotten there at 6, and it'll be 9. Like, I'm not kidding.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's bad. I've gone to Dallas. I even thought going to Dallas without him. I was like, I'm gonna have such good service. This lady forgot to put our food in. Found out an hour. We sat there for an hour because I'm really nice. So I sat there for an hour, and she walks over and she goes, "Why haven't you gotten your food?" I saw her face. And I went, oh my god. I looked at the girl I was with. I was like, she forgot to put her food in. She comes over 15 minutes later. I forgot to put your food in. I'll bring it out to you in a second. An hour later, she brings our food out to us. The place is about to close.
Oh.
Yeah, that's when I tell you we've had bad service. That's what he's talking about. He's like, why should I have to tip?
Wes, you gave y'all got that bad juju now.
Why do I have to tip? Like,
Wendy's exaggerating too because she's like,
not
I'm really
exaggerating.
nice. No, she is like an angel.
She's
Like,
I love you.
These
honey.
people will
this
come
happened
by
yesterday,
and
too.
like
We had bad
stab
service.
her, and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get in the way of your knife. I'm so sorry, I didn't know."
well, because I don't want to have a fight. Like, I'm not.
Right.
Because I know that if
She
I
will fight other
argue.
people. She'll fight me though.
That's true. Like, if I argue with somebody, like, I'm afraid, not thinking that they'll do this, but I'm afraid they're going to spit my food, they're going to do something,
Right.
they're not going to help me. I think they just stereotype. I think they just look at us and go, oh, they're slums, you know, they're not going to. I feel like that's what happens because I'm being honest. I've done as a server. I've been like, oh, on Sundays, you know, the religious people don't tip. I've done
Oh,
it.
Wendy, look at that stereotyping.
First off.
Ooh.
Second of all, everybody, you
Cancel
have to
her.
You have right. Do it. Cancel what? Like, you have to do that to have a
You
good
will never
business.
work on this podcast
Yeah.
ever again.
Right, you have to do that to have a good business. Like, you have to stereotype, because if you don't, and I'm not talking about evil
Oh, be
stereotypes.
careful.
I mean, you have to, in order to like
Serve.
I
Serve
understand.
correctly.
I understand that for sure.
Exactly.
Like a lot of the like a lot of the fast food restaurants where I am from, like they know that Fridays are the nights that like the casino gets out, and like a lot of people are like going for the weekend, and they're just like, all right, here we fucking go.
Yeah, you know to be
Yeah.
prepared. You know you need extra stuff ready. You know what they like. Like,
Right.
you know that
So-
certain families like extra drinks. Not everybody likes a lot of drinks. Like, I've been with people that are like, oh my god, they give me another refill. Like, I've seen that, but I've also seen
Yeah.
Wesley be like, I need refills. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm
I
just like
also
Wes.
like
I
that.
drink some fucking water.
So what I want to talk about is stereotypes and how, for example, you know, the African American stereotype of liking fried chicken. I think that's ridiculous because that's not.
Are you trying to get uncanceled here?
No, I'm saying that I have murdered people before over fried chicken.
Yeah, that's true.
And I love it, but
I mean,
if I'm like, oh, I like fried chicken, nobody says anything, you know, and not that anybody says anything to anyone else now because I feel like it's kind of a played thing.
yeah, I feel like it's almost a not to like.
I just don't feel like
Obviously,
that
I don't
should be
know,
a
but-
stereotype.
I think of it as a compliment because like I feel like every African American grandmother can cook fried chicken like a master,
Yeah,
and I'm privileged to be able to eat
Yeah.
that chicken.
it's like they got that real good like Southern style, I guess, and it's just it's
Phenomenal.
hard to replicate that if it hasn't been. I don't want to say passed down, but you know, like everyone's got their own little secrets that they
I
keep
think passed
dear.
down is safe to say.
Well, I don't want to. You know, I don't want to assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not going to get canceled over that.
Yeah, my 3 listeners are gonna revolt.
Cancel culture.
Dan's just like fuck this
Is
podcast.
that the
Right.
theme of this podcast?
My mom's just gonna be like, I will no longer listen to my son. Mom, if
No,
you're listening, I love
but
you.
it is very interesting. Stereotypes are the worst, but also
Let's talk about white stereotypes. What are some white
Let's do
stereotypes?
That we can't dance.
Becky.
We can't dance.
White girls have a lot of stereotypes, like the
that's
Capri
true.
Sun thing.
Or like soccer
The white
moms.
girl
Oh man,
stereotype.
yeah. Speaking to your manager, that's the short haircut.
At
with
what point can white girls like stand up and say
They can't.
like, stop stereotyping me?
Can
I'm
you
offended."
stereotype?
They
You
Can
can
you-
if they're doing exactly.
They're gonna be
what they're
standing up in their
stereotyping.
Uggs with their Starbucks coffee.
I mean, yeah. I don't think there's a
Yeah,
place to sit
stop
down in the
stereotyping
kitchen.
me.
So
Well,
Let me
that's
drink
what
my
I'm saying though. That's what I'm saying though. Is like, would you say that to a black person who was eating fried chicken?
thing is, I have only seen a very few amount of white women that could probably beat my ass. So, and one of them sitting in the room, and I'm not.
So that's
worried.
what's stopping you. Fear of ass.
Well,
being
see,
beaten.
that's the thing. If you look at internet culture, that's the fear that's not in people, and they just say whatever the hell they want because there's no repercussions. If we started tying this to like real, people
I wouldn't say that.
And their real locations, then people would be a lot more nice to other
of
people
course.
because they don't want to get their ass whooped.
That's like what recently happened on YouTube. Jeffree Star had did like an ASMR. You know, I feel like
You better.
accented his name. Very funny.
Star?
No, you said
That's how
Jeffree Star.
That's how you say
Jeffree
it.
Star.
That's
Because
his
he's
name.
a free man. Go ahead.
Jeffree Star.
Yeah,
oh
it's
my
too easy
god.
at the end. Anyways,
I'm sorry.
it's fine.
I have to have it on because we're doing important stuff for work.
It's all right. Mine will ding soon. I should probably.
Oh, Mr. Popular. Mine was just an email, so
I've got mine on Do Not Disturb. So.
that's
But,
good. Yeah.
Jeffree Star-
Matt's actually prepared. I
Podcast
like
etiquette.
this.
Jeffree Star had did like a hater read video, like reading hateful comments, and he left in like the people's usernames, I guess, and like people were like they were getting caught and like they were getting found out and stuff, and it's like, I'm sorry you put that hate out there thinking that you're anonymous.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Nobody invaded your privacy.
I encourage that because
absolutely.
we need to move towards that as a society.
Yeah. Have some actual, like, if you really, really, really want to say what you're saying, you should be able to have your name tied to it.
Back it up.
And be held accountable.
Yeah.
Like, don't be a pusillanimous.
Especially
Don't be a
if you're going
pusillanimous.
to call out other people for
Precisely.
doing stuff.
Exactly.
See, I think this all starts in our schools when they're like, no bullying, no fighting. We have a zero tolerance policy. It's like, no, I think y'all should just let the kids whip ass.
Find
while
out
they
who the
can.
bullies are. Beat their ass. No, I'm joking.
I think we should
I think
encourage
there
kids
should
to
be
fight.
a middle
Send them
ground
to the moon.
somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
We've talked about this before. It's like, are you gonna give a robber their, you can't rob me. You don't have my consent.
But the argument that I'm saying is also there's like you can go way far with it. Like I think how China's doing is like they're like actually tying like your ID to your
Oh, I love
internet
that.
and like
Let's have
everything that you search up they can see and like it's a lot.
Oh,
Where's the
bad.
length? Yeah.
That's bad.
How far does it go? It's crazy.
That's really bad. I mean, technically, from what I know about the internet,
Which is everything.
you could essentially be found out. Everything that you're searching and looking up. But for the government to have like direct control, easy access,
It's a lot.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
That's one thing, I'm somewhat afraid of the internet because I know people that could do this, is that they will find everything and anything about you on the internet, even if it's supposed to be quote unquote private, and they're just good at what they do.
If it's on the internet, it's up.
And to me, it's magic. So once it's on the internet, I know that it's there forever.
Yeah, like these podcasts.
Yeah.
I can't wait for this to come back to haunt me. It's gonna be great.
Yeah,
When you ever become famous, you're gonna be like, on the podcast you did when you were in college.
Canceled.
That you stereotype.
Yeah. You're gonna say that you tipped people even if they had bad service? I can't even believe you. Oh my God.
No, they'll agree with you there.
No, not if we move to like a non-tipping society.
Yeah, you never know like what the future holds.
Let's go to England then.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
They don't tip in England?
No, they
No,
don't. They don't. They don't tip
Really?
anywhere except
If
for
you
America.
go into, I've read this. I've never been, but if you go into a place in England, I've heard that if like you don't even like the service, you could walk out.
Yeah.
Like you don't even have to pay.
What?
That's what we do.
So
here.
do they have traditional servers
Yeah.
there? Like people serving
They
your
do.
food? How do they
Yeah,
get paid?
they get paid
We're gonna just go
by
next time.
hourly?
yeah,
Never.
Never.
like any other person doing a normal job. And if they're doing a bad thing, then obviously you're going to lose that business.
Yeah.
But that's not the case here because it's, it's so
There's so many choices. Like, yeah, I can
Terrible
go
to
to
not
like
tip.
McDonald's right now and be like, I'm never coming back. They're gonna go, okay, next
I've done
customer.
That. I've done that before,
Right.
and I ended up going back.
Yeah,
One time I
yeah.
got
We
so
do it,
pissed
too.
off at McDonald's that I dumped my bag of food behind the
Oh, no.
counter. That's how mad I was. And I don't get mad
That's the
often.
customer I can't be.
I don't get mad often.
I wanna-
and they literally drove me
what
to
does that do? Now no one gets to eat this
I
food.
want to
Thanks a
know
lot,
what
asshole.
happened.
Well, they were basically just like disrespecting me to my face and like had my food right there. She knew that I was standing at the counter waiting for my food, which was right there, and she like would not give it to me. And then I had to give it back for one thing, and then it wasn't right. I had to give it back again, so eventually I just dumped it out and left.
Wow.
I'd already paid, so
But yeah, I mean, you're doing nobody.
yeah, I'm not saying it was right. I'm just saying.
No, he's just saying that's what it was.
It doesn't make you feel
I was
better.
just pissed.
Like I've been on the opposite
Yeah.
side of that, working at Wendy's. Like I've
No, because
dealt
then he had
with
to go
some
back. So now it's
angry
like,
Yeah.
I need
Yeah.
some food.
But they were
aren't you?
legitimately
No.
being rude to me, so
Yeah.
and I don't think that's okay.
Yeah.
Like
See-
if they're busy and like stuff's mixed up, that's fine. But she was like purposefully disrespecting me.
I think we should move to like a society where you get one punch a week, a month, we'll say.
Bunch of money.
What?
So you punch somebody in the face, you call the police, they go, okay, what happened? You say, this was what happened, I punched him in the face. They go, okay.
That's horrible.
So check your record. Have you punched anyone else this month? Nope, you're good to go.
So
like
the
that.
purge, but the purge, but
The purge,
it's just
but not killing?
the purge, but it's just the punch.
See, this is
Right.
my thing, though. I feel like as a manager working in a business, I would get punched a lot by different people.
But see,
Yeah.
that's when you call the police and you say, okay, here's what happened. They punched me. If it's not a good reason, take their ass to jail.
You
Well,
wouldn't have enough
who
police.
decides who's the good
You
reason?
wouldn't have near enough police.
Like, what decides?
Well,
Because
the
some
police
people,
do, obviously.
some people get angry at the place that I work for things that I think are not should be angry for, and then some people do get angry for real reasons. So
Yeah.
who decides? Because they think
So
they're right. So who
right now,
decides?
if you get in trouble with the law, the police decide whether you live or die.
That's
so
true.
I wouldn't go far
That's
to
not the
say
police.
that.
No, the police don't decide that. You
no,
have a
they
jury
absolutely
of your peers.
No, not in the moment.
Oh, are you talking about in your
If
society?
a police officer says, "Hey,
Mostly society.
get out of the car," and you're like, "Oh,
Oh, you're talking
I
about,
I
like,
hurt my
shootings.
leg.
Shootings.
I can't get out of the car, but I can drive." He's like,
Right.
"All right, you're obstructing justice, and
Oh, well, yeah.
I'm going to
yeah,
beat your
yeah.
teeth in now."
Yeah,
Stop
no, I
obstruction.
totally agree with that.
Sure.
Yeah,
Stop resisting! Stop resisting!
I don't think that's
You
the
know?
majority of. Yeah, that definitely happens. It's fucking horrible, and we
Yeah.
need to eradicate that. But that's not the majority of people.
Yeah.
Do get a jury.
Our laws
to
are
decide.
innocent until proven guilty.
I
but
hope
that's
so,
not-
but I just, you read about all of the outliers, I guess.
Oh,
'Cause
God,
you
yeah.
don't read about
Well,
the
sure.
regulars.
Yeah, I mean, think about how many court cases happen every.
They're
single day.
outliers, but it happens often. Like,
I'm just
it's a
just
lot.
paranoid that it's gonna be, I'm pulled over for a taillight or something, and I don't call him sir or daddy or whatever
Well,
he
the good
likes to be
thing
called.
is that you are the color to where that probably will not happen.
see,
to
I
you.
And
think
that
that's
whole is a
ridiculous.
shame.
You do?
Yeah,
That's
a shame.
Absolutely,
It is a shame.
That's actually
disgusting,
something
but-
that Trevor Noah said. He said that when he first moved to America, that he got pulled over by a cop because he passed him. He said, "You passed me. You don't do that." And he's like, "I don't pass you because why?"
Yeah.
And I don't know if he got a ticket or not for that, but the guy's like, you don't pass cops." What? What rule is
So
that?
you think that you would be profiled and treated the same way that like maybe a younger African American?
So I, judging by society and how it goes,
Mhm.
I don't think that it's the case, but it is a fear in my mind.
yeah,
And I guess it's because I just don't, equate that much difference between us.
Mhm.
I'm a young white male, there's a young African male, whatever, I would hope that I wouldn't get treated that way, but I hope nobody gets treated that
I
way.
just saw it happen.
It's
so many
still a
times
fear in my
growing up.
mind,
Like my friends would get in trouble with the cops. They were white, of course, came from middle upper class families. They'd get away with, they would never get taken to jail. They get in trouble, get a slap on the wrist or whatever. But they never had any serious life consequences
Right.
because of it. Yeah, I
I'm
mean it happens. Yeah,
I'm like torn between, like wanting to, like I go through all these scenarios while I'm driving and I'm like, all right, if I get pull over real nice and slow, keep my hands on the wheel,
yeah.
I'll just crack my window, hear what he says, I'll be a good little boy and nothing will happen. And then I get that fear, I'm like, oh God, what if he's mad that day, or what if he just shoots me because, and then he plants a gun on me and he's
man.
like, all right, he tried to shoot me first and I shot him, then I'm dead and then nothing can happen. Like,
Yeah, and a lot of me wants to say that fear is irrational, but it might not.
I
it's
think
probably
it's
irrational for
you
me,
and
but
for
it's
me
not
and
irrational for some people. And,
Right, that's
Yeah.
what sucks.
like
That's what's
it
scary.
happens in my mind, and it's not something I'm consciously
Right, precisely.
trying. So
I got pulled over twice in the last 6 months, actually, speeding from West
Oh,
Monroe to
no.
Ruston.
Oh no!
Got 2 speeding tickets, totaled around $500.
Yeah,
I wanted to die. Yeah, I wanted to die.
that's a brand new Nintendo Switch you just threw away. Yeah,
I know, dude. It
Threw
was the
away,
worst.
went to the tax man.
yeah. Protecting and serve by writing you, pay us.
I mean, yeah, I will say, like, every time that I see a cop, my heart, like, beats, and, like, I'm like, oh, wow.
I've had to explain
I
that
feel
to
scared.
a cop before because he was behind me and I was freaking out and I was swerving. He pulled me over and said, "You were swerving? Were you drinking?" Because it was like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And I told him honest. I was like, "I'm gonna be honest." I was like, "I get nervous when cops are behind me, and that's why I was swerving." He was like, he took a second. He goes, "Okay, I'll buy that this time."
It's true, like,
Wendy showed some tit. It was good.
Yeah, it was like, you got it.
I believe you got out of a tit. You gotta,
No one was
Look, you
drinking
gotta-
here.
you gotta put your assets to work. You know what I'm saying?
right, I mean,
I tried it. It didn't work. But,
I can't say that I have.
It works for me.
Phenomenal.
well, it's like that woman that came up to me one time, and I was at the door of our theater, tearing tickets, and they had food. And I was like, "No, you can't come in." She's like, "We parked on the 4th floor. Do you know what it's like to walk in heels?" Yes, I do.
She looks at you like, oh shit.
She stopped. She left immediately. She's like,
say something now.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
I've literally walked in heels many times.
I don't know if I've ever walked in like heels, but I did drag once.
Yeah.
Just for fun.
Maybe many times is an exaggeration, but you really did?
Yeah,
At
I've got pictures of it, I think.
Ooh,
You do?
I
I
was
don't know if I have mine anymore.
I was a cutie pie. It was really funny because I was basically one of my friends lost a bet and he was like, I don't want to do this alone. I was like, whatever, I'll do it for you. It'll be a fun joke, right? And so
What was your name?
Leslie.
I love that.
Duh.
Phenomenal.
What else name would you pick for Leslie? Leslie.
Leslie. Oh, here it is. All
Let me
right.
see. So this was at Fenway?
No,
this was at
Regal.
The theater I work at right now.
There's me.
Dude.
Like I did a shave and everything. There's my friend.
All right, so whenever you're editing this, I need you to put these photos in
No,
there.
I'm not gonna put these photos.
Yes.
Those are cute as
That was
dude.
Leslie trying it
My
out.
friends still have them. I'll send them to
I
you.
love that.
Yeah. No, he's editing.
Yeah, I'm the editor,
Yeah.
so.
Fine, I'll like wait till you go to sleep and then I'll
He
edit
says
it.
editor. Well, we don't do much, yeah.
No, but it was really funny because there's a very homophobic guy there that works, and he's just very annoying to me, and so I just instantly turn on the gay, you know.
Instantly.
He's like, get away from me. I'm like, ooh, I like it when you grab at me. That's,
Yo,
that's really nice or whatever. And so I was in drag, and I walk out, and he's at the register or whatever helping a guest, and I'm walking behind him. He's like, ooh, get away from me, get away here. And I was like, ooh, girl, you couldn't handle me anyway, or something like that. And he's like, you're gross. Get out of here.
That's funny.
And his customer was like, you shut up now. Girl, you do you. I'm so proud of you, baby. You do you. You do you, baby. And I was like, all right.
That brings me to the point. I don't know who I dislike
fuck.
more: people that are homophobic but act like they aren't, or people that are blatantly homophobic.
He's
That's a tough one.
blatantly. He still does it, and like I'll mess with him because he's in my opinion, he's got no reason to be.
Yeah, like I post a lot of political stuff on Facebook.
Oh, you're
Oh,
one of
no.
those.
Not a lot, but I
Oh,
like,
God.
we just like I talk about it with my friends and family, and like I'll get messages
And
from
Facebook.
people, and they'll just like message me like, "Hey, I didn't want to comment, but this is what I think," and I'm like, if you don't actually like believe it and you're willing to like defend it, then why can't you post it? Like if you have the thought to have this well thought out agreement that like homophobia is the right way or whatever, and like you send that message to me. It's like if you really actually believe that, you should be able to post it publicly and like be able to defend yourself and your thoughts, and like you should be able to have some reasoning behind it.
Yeah.
And if you feel like you can't, then maybe you feel a little bit guilty for a reason. Like you feel like you can't for a reason.
Well, they could always take the argument though to just kind of. They
Yeah,
could
no,
always
be
say
devil's
that like
advocate.
they want to keep it like as a personal conversation between
Right.
you and them.
I
But,
agree with that for sure.
I mean that's kind of like why I deleted my Facebook, which I did it
Yeah.
before the whole like scandal with the whatever the data that they leaked
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah, yeah.
But it's because my family was so politically active on Facebook,
Yeah.
and it was just so cringy because they would repost things that had no factual
Yeah.
backing, or you know what I mean. It was
Yeah,
just
yeah.
kind of like
I try to definitely do my due diligence before I post stuff.
Mhm.
Like a lot of my family members will actually post like these just memes, and they're just not factual.
Right.
And I will take that, share it, and be like, "This is wrong, and here's why."
So there's been
List
so
all the
many,
reasons.
so many studies shown that like yeeting off Facebook completely and like all social
makes
media makes you so much happier.
Oh,
I can
God, yeah.
I can definitely tell you that I got rid of it in college, like my freshman year.
Facebook,
Yeah.
or just all social media.
Just all social media. Like I
Yeah, I couldn't
stopped.
stalk him when I first talked to him.
Yeah.
Oh, that must have been weird.
It was.
I just I didn't care. I was like I just don't care what anybody has to say or
Right.
thinks or
Yeah, I
You know,
definitely understand
whatever.
that, and I don't say that I pride myself, but I find myself happy that I feel like I have a good relationship with it. Like I don't go on it every second, and like if I do, I only see people that I love because
Yeah.
I hide everyone else. Like I don't care, you know.
I could never get off Facebook. I mean, not Facebook, sorry, but Instagram.
Oh really?
yeah.
Yeah, because Instagram to me is just kind of like, it's, I don't know, there's no drama like there's with Facebook. Like it's basically just like a bunch of art and memes, no political stuff. You know what I mean?
Precisely.
So it's like a lot of like my favorite artists I get put on from Instagram suggestions and stuff
It's
like
really
that.
cool.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool.
So it's less of like a social media in the Facebook sense where you're like keeping up with your grandma or.
Speaking of Instagram, you got one. What is it? What's your Instagram?
I do have an art Instagram.
Yeah?
It's SUPERTIGHT.xyz.
Oh.
Hang on, give me a second. Wait.
SUPERTIGHT.xyz.
Follow me, Josh.
I am.
I follow everyone back.
He's got shirts. He's got mouse pads.
Yeah, I actually designed this shirt too. This was for because me and my friend released some music, and I made this kind of as a promotional thing.
Oh,
That's
okay.
his
Yeah, a
first.
lot of my friends follow you.
Oh my god, it's literally the lyrics. That's really cool.
Yeah, yeah. It's meant to look like a karaoke kind of panel.
I like
But these are the lyrics. To one of the
So
songs.
we've talked about it, and the idea behind SUPERTIGHT, from what I understand, and please correct me if I'm wrong. So it's this whole brand that you've created, you know,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
SUPERTIGHT brand, which
Yeah.
I think it's a cool thing.
Thank you.
When we first talked about it, you said it was about like quitting is hard, and I took that to mean like, oh yeah, we're going so hard in the paint at the gym that we don't quit, we don't get tired.
Yeah, no.
And I told this to you, and you just laughed, and you're like, no, it's actually about quitting your vices. That
Right.
quitting stuff is hard. Quitting smoking or quitting your bad habits or whatever.
Yeah. That's kind of what it's based around.
So
It's
as
kind of-
someone who is my size, I totally resonate with this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
since you're
quitting is
eating
hard.
the king cake.
I-
Back up.
I've only had one piece.
Enjoy yourself less.
Yeah, you only got one life.
That's true.
Oh my.
And you only have one wife that tells
Josh,
you
I
that you
need you
can't
to
eat
not.
this stuff.
It's so true, Wesley. You only have one.
I don't need this
Only
negativity
one
in my
life,
life. Yeah, she's right. I don't need it.
You don't?
She'll tell me that later too.
Oh my god.
That is not true.
We'll just be in bed and trying to go to sleep. She's like, "You like that king cake, didn't you, fatty?" I'm so sorry.
So, not to derail the
kidding.
conversation, but I kind of want to because we also never talked about Smash last time.
Smash.
I don't know if you've played Smash.
I do.
I smash every night,
I'm
and I
happy
also
for
play
you.
the video game.
That is so healthy.
No, I've actually. Yeah.
Your mom's just like,
Oh God.
Canceled.
So it's really funny with my mom because it's Mom. If you're listening, you know this about yourself. It's hard to talk to her about grown up things, grown up adult things or whatever.
aha.
And I'm like, "How do you think we got here, Mom?"
Right.
So it's always fun.
So back to Smash.
Smash, yeah. No, actually, I've been playing every night because I got destroyed in our tournament that I held.
Okay, I wanted to ask about that. We had a tournament that Wes sort of helped organize a little bit.
I didn't know
organized
this. You
all of it.
lost. Why'd you come home?
Yep.
Why were you at home?
We have a rule. We're like, oh yeah, I'm hanging out with such and such. We're doing a game or whatever. It's like, okay, well, that's fine that you're not spending time with me as long as you win. And if you don't win, you don't get to come home. I
Phenomena.
had to sleep outside that day. Yeah, it was bad.
So, okay, how did that go then?
So it went really, really well. We've actually got pictures. We had a lot of fun. We had some really good guys and some really not so good guys, and then everybody else.
Medium good guys.
I was.
So a nice bell curve.
Yeah, I would say it was a pretty good bell curve. Yeah, none of the fights were uninteresting.
Cool.
There's only one person there that hadn't never played before, and I got lucky and I got him in the very first round.
And he beat you, I'm sure.
No, I beat him and I got to go to the second round. Hey-o. Otherwise, oh yeah. No.
Who'd you play?
So I don't remember his name.
No, who did you play as?
Oh, at the time I played as Samus.
Okay.
That's really all I knew.
Yeah.
Josh came over and pushed my my stuff back in with Zelda, and I started playing Zelda a lot more. So
Jesus
wondering.
Christ.
I've actually been playing Zelda a lot now, and I think I'm really good.
Zelda's
Oh,
fun.
I'm not really good.
Zelda's fun.
I'm decently good, and yeah,
Wait, so
Zelda
who do you
is
play
fun.
as?
I forced myself to stop playing as Zelda, so
Yeah.
now I'd say that I play as
Olimar.
Villager now.
Ooh,
Oh,
I get
interesting.
okay.
Are you guys online?
I
No, yes.
don't have.
I don't have the.
Yeah, I
online
don't have the
side.
online.
I literally couldn't play the game until like this
Yeah.
week. Now that we're out of school.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I feel that.
So
Definitely feel that.
I might get it, but I doubt it.
I mean,
I'm the
yeah.
Wii trainer.
Wendy loves the
She's my
Wii train.
I
favorite.
love the Wii
She's
trainer.
my
Praise
favorite.
the sun.
She's like doing lunges and just like kicking people out.
Y'all should get the online though. It's cheap.
Yeah, it's
And we
like
can play.
$20 a year or whatever.
I think it's
I'd be
like
down.
comes out to $3 a month.
Yeah,
So yeah, you're gonna have to ask not me
Yeah.
about that because I don't run the finances. I don't wear the pants in our
He
family.
can get it at any time. Don't put that on me.
No,
$3 a month.
out
have-
of context, that sounds hilarious.
I have
Unless you are a professional IT specialist.
I have
you
a-
$3 a month.
I have an allowance, we'll say, and right now my allowance is
That's right.
not
Is she
able.
like your dominatrix or something?
No,
At least I call her dad.
I call her the responsible one.
Yeah.
First off, he has $100 a month. If he wants to take $10 out of that, I have the same thing. If he wants to take $10 or $20 out of that,
So yeah, I'm trying to spend. So I got $14 left this month. I'm trying to spend 10 of it on the DLC for Horizon Zero Dawn because I just I love that game now that I've played it and I'm good at it. It took me a long time. It took me months and months and months because I got into a point where I just got killed over and over again. I was like, stupid game.
Yeah.
But I came back to it, figured it out, loved it. I want to get the DLC for it, but also Smash has got the fighter passes coming out, so I want to get that too. I don't know how expensive that'll be.
What does that mean? Fighter passes?
So I think you're gonna get a few
That's
more.
how you buy the characters.
Yeah, levels. You're gonna get like 4 or 5 more
What
characters.
There's like
I don't remember.
Zero from Zero.
Zero.
From Gundam Wing.
No. God, what's his
Oh,
name?
no, his name is
Persona
Hero.
5. I don't know if that's his name though.
What are the other?
Joker, sorry. Joker from Persona 5. He's the main character.
I'd love to have some Kingdom Hearts characters.
That would
but
be cool.
I don't know if that'll ever happen.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, speaking of the Switch, did you guys hear that Xbox Game Service is coming to Switch?
Yeah, they're gonna try to.
Which means potentially Halo. Oh my god!
It means like cross-platform playing.
I would
Means
pay
a lot.
I would pay a good bit of money to have the entire Halo collection on Switch.
Mhm.
Because what's so cool about the Switch is that you play it at home, whatever, but you're ready to go. You just yank it out of the dock, and you're
Right.
it's you just seamless. It's so good. And people that are like, oh yeah, I'm on the fence about a Switch, like Peyton is on the fence about a Switch. I'm like, you've played through Skyrim
Get off
8
the
or 9,
Switch.
10
get off the
times.
fence and go get it.
Right, like you
Yeah.
can play Skyrim on the Switch. That's what you'll just be doing forever. Like it's so good.
Yeah, the price is good, and they really nailed the portable aspect of it.
I
agree.
I feel like Nintendo really does knock it out of the park with.
Yeah.
I don't want to say gimmicky, but just a different console than the stereotypical console.
Of course, and
You
they
know,
make
like-
it work seamlessly.
Well, I think with the Wii they had some problems, and I think it's a cool concept.
I
I
had
think
the
they
Wii.
kind of mastered that.
What about the Wii U?
Well, yeah, that's
That was interesting. That was the real precursor to the Switch.
right. I think both of those, really they learned some things. They learned kind of what works and what doesn't work. And I feel like they really knocked it out of the park with the Switch.
Yeah.
And also, it's not just the portable game console, but it's the fact that, you can take 4 or 5 controllers with you pretty easily anywhere you go.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're desperate, you've got just the stand there and you can hook up the 4 controllers and you've got an instant play thing. Or, if you're playing like Mario Party or whatever, it's just fun.
They've really got me on the whole nostalgia kick as well.
Yes.
Because I've bought every single game that has been like a remake. Like I got both of the Mario games, the Mario Party, Mario Kart, Zelda,
Yeah.
just all these ones that are like remakes of the old
Yeah,
ones. And
right.
they're about to come out with a Yoshi remake of Yoshi's World, which looks sick.
It's gonna
as
be
fuck.
phenomenal.
So I'm excited for Metroid Prime 4.
Oh, you saw where they had to completely like restart development on that?
Right. So the thing is, and I don't want to be that guy, but I am. So I like franchises, even though I've never played them. Like Final Fantasy, I've never played through any Final
I
Fantasy.
Love
haven't either.
it.
I never
I
played Final Fantasy.
like any story that I get and the characters. I just love it. I love the art.
I do love the art.
The Advent Children it's one of my I like watching that movie. I think it's really cool because it's Sephiroth and Cloud.
Yeah.
I don't know much about them, but I love those 2 characters. I think they're really cool.
Mhm.
But it's the same with Metroid. I've always, enjoyed the idea of Samus because, she's a cyborg or robot or whatever. And
Yeah.
I like cyborgs and robots, and
Fuck yeah.
she's got this big cannon arm.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
Who doesn't love a giant cannon arm in cyborgs? Like, that's just the coolest thing ever. And I've never actually played through a game though, so
Yeah.
I'm getting the 4th one, and I'll just
Feel
be straight into it.
It's I don't know. It's interesting. They do have a lot of nostalgic presence for sure. Moving on. Next topic.
I don't know.
So how long are we doing this for?
It's actually 2:10 right now.
I think we're about to hit about an hour, so if you guys want to go ahead and wrap it up,
Another
we can.
30 minutes?
We
Or
can-
we could wrap it up.
We can do whatever you want to do, my friend.
I'm down.
Let's talk about something like controversial.
I'll talk about stuff for
shit.
days.
From the current news cycle. Let's
Oh.
get a topic.
Let's dive right in. I love this
Oh,
shit.
man.
Okay,
makes for good content.
so what has recently happened that is controversial?
Let me hit up Apple.
I know, at least in my life, we went by Wendy's one time and an employee said, "Have a blessed day," and it's my pleasure. And I was like, someone just got fired from Chick-fil-A.
Have a blessed
Never.
It was the weirdest thing because like one window they were just like here, like
Here.
$27.50, and so we hand them a card and they go here, and then the next window they're like have a blessed day. I'm like, oh, can I have extra ketchup? My pleasure. And we were like, oh my god, where are we? Wait, is this chicken? Like, I don't.
I love that.
It was weird, man. It was good though.
Well, we could talk about dun 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 R. Kelly,
Oh,
Oh
okay,
my
okay,
God.
okay.
the piss man.
So he's in jail, right? Like
I think he bonded out.
Okay.
Oh wait, I thought
But
he didn't have
get
money
taken
to.
in. Huh?
I thought they released a statement from his lawyers that says R. Kelly does not have money at the moment
Oh, really?
to post bail.
Jesus Christ.
I'm
That's
not
what I saw. I don't know if
surprised.
it's true or not, but thank
Oh,
God.
Not
I
surprised.
know,
at
right?
all.
We
Finally.
should just like put him
Good
under the
Lord.
jail.
At some point, is it okay if we just hand out the death sentence? Like,
I
don't know.
The whole
Yeah.
precedent would stick.
the whole point of jail is to recombobulate you back into society.
Recombobulate. Oh God,
You know,
that's the word.
what's
It's to
interesting,
fix
though,
whatever's wrong with you.
it's a
Whether
lot
you're
of-
gay or.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
Wesley.
I'm so kidding. Oh my god.
Rewind the tape.
Goodness, yeah.
Yeah.
Gone.
That never
I
happened.
love gay people.
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So for some people, though, like death is an escape. So, like, to me, I would think I would almost rather die. And I think a lot of people would too than spend the rest of their life in prison.
So
Yeah, but it's that balance. It's like, should we let them die and not be a hamper on our economy anymore, or should we just
So,
let them suffer
yeah, that's-
and then like we have to pay for them?
Yeah.
that's a good point I want to bring up is
That's the parallel.
with this climate change place that we are in, where scientists are basically like, all right, if you don't change like right now, we're all gonna
11
die.
years.
Mm-hmm.
They've been saying it for a long time, but we just don't care. We like our money and we like our comfort. So
Mm-hmm.
who cares about the planet, right? What I'm saying is we're going to get to a point where resources are so critical that we won't be able to keep people that are non-functioning members of society around,
Yeah, I feel like once it gets to that point, that would be too late, anyways. So.
Well, I mean, it's basically already too late.
Oh, for
You know,
sure.
in the last 60 years, like 60% of the insect species have been eradicated completely, and that's,
Yeah.
I don't know if you know much about. Oh, Wendy's giving me. a
No,
look.
it just reminds me. Every time I go to bed, Wesley's always like, before he goes to bed, he's like, "Oh, just remember, we're gonna die. Sun's gonna." He starts
Sun's gonna burn
like
out.
he's like, "Oh, all the bugs, we've already had them," and I'm like, "Oh, good night, honey."
Dang, so this is like a recurring
Yeah, it's
thing.
like a.
It is. When
It's
he
like
said that,
a.
it triggered me. I was like, "Oh, I didn't go to sleep last night yet."
Wait, so the insects are... Wait, what
It's
is... 60% of the insects
Like
are
60% of the insect species in the last 60 years have been completely wiped out.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know if you know much about the way that our ecosystem works, but
But the insects are vital.
they are basically the
Sure.
building block. It's like if you blocked out the sun.
One way that you could look at it, though, is that really, if you just think of the universe and the vastness of it, like, life is not meant to persist past a certain point. So,
Exactly.
like, is it really that bad that we're causing the insects to go extinct quicker than they would anyway? Because eventually, no matter what,
Well, I mean, yeah, at the end
everything
of
on
the
this
day,
planet is going to die.
the sun's going to burn out, and it's going to, or,
Right.
before that, it'll even engulf the earth.
So
yeah,
is,
but like, let's make the day a little bit longer.
That's what I tell people when they're freaking out about work. Like, I've got a guy, and he's like, "Oh my god, they're gonna fire me, and it's gonna be bad." And
Oh my god,
I'm
do you
like-
tell him you're about to die?
I'm like,
soon
look.
anyway?
Oh my God.
Worst
make
case,
anybody feel
Wesley's
better
over here
with
like,
this.
don't worry,
Don't
we're
worry,
all
we're gonna die.
worst
None of
case
us will have a job
scenario
then.
is the heat death of the universe happens, and nobody's living anywhere because eventually all the suns everywhere will burn out, and there will just be nothingness in
And I
space.
bet his stress just like melts away.
Yeah.
He's just like, "Wow, I feel so
I
much
feel
better."
like I can do this job now.
I'm
Therapeutic.
like, yeah, if it makes you feel better, we'll be very dead before that happens. Like,
Mhm.
you've got nothing to worry about.
Right.
Yeah. All your problems are meaningless.
I do think it'd be really sad though.
He's
If,
like, well, I'm
like-
still depressed.
100,000 years into the future or whatever, there's another species that comes and finds the planet, and there's maybe still stuff that's,
And they're like, what the fuck are these
Standing.
pyramids here?
and they're like, well, there was something here at some point. Or what if we go, if we master spaceflight and we find another planet, and we're like, wow, well, there was something here at some point, and they killed themselves. That's great. Or
That would
something
be
happened.
scary.
I feel like there's not a lot of evidence for this, but like way in the back of my brain, I think that like this has probably already happened.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
like the
probably
pyramids and like all like everything that deals with them mathematically are just so perfect.
Yeah.
How
Have I told you my theory about Star Wars and George Lucas?
Yes.
Okay.
I know. Yeah, you have.
Have I said it on the podcast?
Yes, you have.
Okay.
So how did we go from R. Kelly to talking about Star Wars?
So
So controversial.
because we were talking
Global
about
warming.
is it okay to keep
him in
R.
prison.
Kelly around?
So I know how. I'm just trying to put that out there.
No, I'm kidding. It's good. So yeah, R. Kelly's a piece of
Yeah, I
garbage.
guess there's not much to talk about with that. It's pretty much agreed that
I feel
It's-
like we'd have to
fucking
talk about.
dickhead.
We'd have to talk about our
I think the
president.
controversial thing is like what Wesley was saying. Like, should
Let's just-
he die for that?
Oh yeah, right.
Like, at this
or
point,
should any pedo?
let's just-
you know what I mean?
Let's just kill him. Like, what's the point? That's cynical and that's terrible to say,
That's
but
a very, very large sentiment of Philip Franco. Is like pedophiles are the worst.
well, not just pedophiles, but like rapists and
Yes.
Murderers.
Right, 'cause
Except
that's
for
like-
But do
movie
you not
murder.
think that people can change? For like from
Ooh, do
coming
you
from
think-
that depth of what
Do you
we
think
might consider-
R. Kelly's going to change? He's been doing this for 20 years.
No.
I think that's the thing is
But
like
you have to
I don't
be
want him
open
to
to
die. I just don't want to
possibility.
give him that power, but he's already got it.
I mean, think about Bill Cosby. It's really terrible about everything he did to all these women.
Mhm.
He's
Right.
blind now. You know, he's walking around. He doesn't even know where he's at. What's the point? He's not going to change. There's
So you're
there's
saying
no
that we should-
reintegrating Bill Cosby back into society.
The point is that he has
Better
a right-
Days is
The
canceled.
point is that he's a human and he has rights in the
Yeah.
United States.
The
Yeah,
point is
absolutely.
that he did all these atrocities to human
Of course.
beings.
Sure, but there's
Yeah.
got to be a line where you say, okay, I do not have the right to make this kind of decision for this person.
As a society, we do. If
I
we do that
don't-
already.
I think that's a very dangerous precedent.
Yeah.
Because right
Uh,
now, we as a society came together to elect Donald Trump. So, like,
That's true.
Well, I don't know if we did that as a society. He lost the popular vote. Our system is kind of rigged.
Our
Yeah,
system
well, that's-
has
yeah.
been this way for a
Right.
reason.
sure,
I'll
but
just shoot
still
that out there.
enough people to where it was even close enough for this to happen.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
like, do you want to give that mass of people
Look.
the right to decide whether or not someone lives under a certain situation? I don't know.
Back in the gap, you know.
Yeah.
Did we start killing for the weirdest
Right.
things?
If you looked at somebody weird in the West,
Hashtag purge.
you get shot. We should
Yeah,
move back
that's
to
fucked
this.
up.
I
No,
don't.
why
That's
would you
so
go
bad.
back
I
to
know. I don't.
I'll
think
just
so.
make sure
Wes,
to
I
shoot
hope you-
everyone first.
I hope you don't think that.
A lot of people say like back
You're
in the
gonna
good
get
old
canceled.
days.
Yeah, I'm gonna get canceled.
We joke
lot of-
about this. This is actually happening.
By the way, this is called the Laugh at Everything podcast. I'm literally making a joke about everything.
All of this is just a joke.
Everything in life is a joke to me.
No, but I always have this forward thought whenever people say back in the good old days. It's like in the good old days, people were enslaved. Like, it's, what do you really
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
That's
Like,
not good.
Exactly. There were no back in the good old days. The good days are now. We got to make them now. Like,
Well, that's
good.
true. It's like the whole "Make America Great Again." Like when?
It's like,
When was it ever?
when was it
like,
ever great? Like great. Like
Right.
it wasn't ever perfect.
That
Like,
reminds
it's
me-
great as it is now, and it should be getting better.
That reminds me, I'm going to kind of go off tangent here. It reminds me of so many stories I hear about millennials not wanting to do such and such.
Mhm.
Like I read a thing
Like
on
what?
Reddit the other day. It's from like the Muffin Boss or something, and they're like, millennials are so entitled. They don't want to work for free anymore. Like I've got nobody coming to my unpaid internships to get job experience.
right.
How
Yeah.
fucking dare they?
How dare they not want to work for free? It's like what? No.
Yeah.
And I don't understand that people of previous generations are like, oh, millennials are just the worst. You know, it's like.
My favorite was like millennials aren't getting divorces; they're putting divorce lawyers.
Yeah,
out
they're
of
putting
work.
divorce
And I was
lawyers
like,
out.
what?
That's
Oh,
hilarious.
no.
It's because they're not getting married as
They're not
much.
trapping themselves.
Or they're getting married later in life, you know, it's
They
like
haven't found the one, so they decide not to marry. Like,
there's no social pressure. It's like really, and this might be controversial. I think it's because of sex. You know, I think
that
10
we're
years
a
ago,
freer-
20
a
years ago,
freer,
you're like, oh my god, if you had sex outside of marriage, at least in the South, it's like
A big no.
you know shunned.
Yeah.
You know, you don't talk about.
Not even that; they would force you to get married immediately.
Right, you just all right. You're it. That's it. But
Yeah,
now
that still goes on though with like Christians, even young millennial Christians. Like
Yeah.
those are the types of people who
I
get
feel like
married.
it's seriously falling
quick.
out of
So many people I knew.
practice. Well,
Yeah,
That's funny.
she's
I will
the
say,
same
my dad was always not always harder, but a lot harder on my brother than on me. Like,
Is he older?
Yes.
Yeah, because I have a little brother, and my parents are much easier. on
This
my
is the
little brother.
opposite.
see, it's the opposite. My brother
He's
gets
older.
away with murder, and he's older.
Yeah.
That's literally what she says every time. Because I'll ask the same thing. I'm like, why can't Wesley do that? Because I can't control your older brother, but I can control you. And he's like, Okay.
We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. I always was lucky with that. It's like he softened up a little bit more with me.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I get it. You want as a parent, or at least I assume because I'm not a parent. I have a cat in a Roomba. I think that counts.
Me too.
You're a parent
Yeah.
too,
right? You want the best for your children. Obviously, you want them to experience all that life has to offer, especially in that regard. You know, but you obviously want them to do it in a safe, controlled environment. And if you have multiple different partners, it just significantly reduces. I don't want to say the specialness, but like. There's a big difference if you've been with like 3 or 4 people versus 20 or 30 or whatever. And that's not if that's what you do, then you do that. Whatever makes you happy.
Yeah.
It just makes each of those people a little bit less special, and that's my opinion.
I agree.
So, like, I see their logic behind it, but
I don't know. I feel like that's a little bit far, and to like not even enforce it for both.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
There's been a lot of I don't want to call them questionable calls, but we'll say double standards.
Aha!
I'm calling you out, Mom. No. She did her best. I really can't fault her.
Oh yeah, I agree. I feel like our parents all did the best, as good or as bad as they were.
She had 2 boys to raise, and she basically did it by herself for the most part. And when I say her, I really mean that the daycare center she dropped us off.
Oh.
No, she's like, I didn't raise you that way. I'm like, all right, Mom, I spent 8 hours in school, and then 3 hours at daycare, and then 8 hours sleeping.
Daycare was lit, though. The daycare I went to, they had this gigantic wall full of like Nintendos.
Oh,
and all of them had different games.
I didn't go to daycare.
Yeah. I went to daycare where we had to like build houses for poor people.
I bet you did. Out of popsicle sticks or something.
Yeah, we did. No, we had a really strict daycare worker. Her name was Miss Yosa. And
how do you remember this? What the hell?
Yeah, because she got raised by daycare.
Miss
He can't
Yosa
remember
was
his
my
mom's
mom.
name.
I call my mom. I don't know her real name.
She sounds like Miss Trunchfield, though. Is that her name from
Miss
Matilda?
Trunchfield from Matilda.
Yeah.
She was strict, but she
tight.
was just. She didn't take no crap from the little kids.
Right.
Love that.
Right.
Because Miss Trunchfield was strict but not just.
She was terrible.
She was unjust.
Very unjust.
Chaotic evil.
She was a chaotic form of evil.
But if you'll, like, I noticed this. I don't know if you guys do because, you're not abnormal freaks walking around, apparently. Like, the amount of people or the amount of kids that I'll have that'll stop me in Walmart and be like, wow, you're fat. And I'm like,
They're assholes.
your mom is just as big as me. Like, this is not something new.
Kids do that?
Oh, this is like
Yeah.
once every 2 or 3 months probably. They'll be like,
Damn.
oh my God,
If I had a kid and they did that, I'd be like, Johnny, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, like I was eating with my mom at Chick-fil-A one time, and the kid goes up and goes, wow, you're fat, and just walks off.
God.
His parents are right there, and he's like, no!
They said that to him?
Yeah, they
I feel like as long as they reprimand them, then
right,
like,
they smacked the kid, they made him come
Well, how do you
apologize to me.
reprimand someone like that? Because he's just telling the truth. Like, how would you say to him?
I mean,
Like,
yeah.
You don't
Well, you
say
say
that out
like-
loud.
like
Yeah,
norms,
You keep
yeah.
that in your mind.
Well,
You don't say it out loud.
It's the
sweetie.
same way you wouldn't call someone ugly. I mean, it's like,
Well, the thing
it's
is,
just rude.
obesity in America is at like 60%. Like, this is not abnormal at this point,
What, obesity rates?
Obesity, yeah. Like 60% of America is considered obese.
Sure.
Like, this is not an abnormal thing.
Mhm.
If I walked around and somebody's literally got rainbow colored skin, I'm like, oh, you got rainbow colored skin. You're kind of weird, But
Interesting. So
I'm
you
the
think it's
size-
okay for the kid to say that?
I mean, I don't
Or it's not a big
understand
deal.
why, because
I would
every
just try and
one of
say,
them
like-
seems so flabbergasted. They're like, oh my
Yeah.
God, how are you still alive? This is crazy. You're like a
Yeah.
giant ball of blubber. How's this?
It's just
I can't wrap my mind around it
it's just
because you're so
kinda weird,
fat. I
though.
can't get my
I
mind
just
around
where do you
all
stop?
of
Because those are the same people that'll go online and say stupid stuff like with him reading his Jeffree Star
Jeffree
reading
Star,
his
like-
hater things. Like,
Yeah.
you're gay. Okay, thanks. I know this.
I love pointing. Yeah, it's like we talked about this on the last podcast. The guy that he stopped and he rolled down his window. He's like, "Oh, I didn't run your fat ass over." It's like,
Yeah, like
that's the worst. I deserve better. You can come up with
I would just
something.
point out facts. You could go to jail.
Yeah.
You would have to sign lots of paperwork.
That's what I was told. I was
Yeah.
like, I thought about it. I was like, you don't want to ruin your car that bad. Like, that's a big dent you're gonna put in your car, man. Why would you do that?
just shit on him with facts. Be like, I have the right of way. You're stupid.
It's like, you're ugly.
Yeah.
Josh, you just remind me of somebody. So we watch a lot of TikToks, and there's this one girl
Oh God, do you?
who's like on her phone, and she's like, I'm gonna hit the table. So for emphasis.
Oh my, no.
Okay. Don't stop.
Yeah. She's like, here's, and she'll take a drink, and she goes on her phone. It's like, here's the motherfucking tea, and I'm like, oh. She keeps hitting her phone like that, and it's so.
Every time Leslie's like over here, like just keep going.
Next
I'm like, but I want to hear what she has to say. What's the motherfucking tea? I want to know. Keep going.
She's like, this girl said that. Oh my God, you're so pretty when you wear makeup. I can't believe her. She should die in a fire. I'm like, dang, this is crazy.
I feel like that kind of thought process to be like, if someone says you look pretty today, and they instantly go to I look ugly every other day.
Yeah, I hate it when people do that.
That's not what was happening, but okay.
Okay,
I hate
that's what I thought.
I hate it when people don't take compliments.
This is so dumb. Her friend was like, if like they both like the same guy, and she's like, well, I think when you meet him, you should just take your makeup off and show him the real you. That's what she was saying.
Oh.
So she's basically calling her ugly without
Right.
the makeup. Okay. That's what was happening. And I was like, ooh, juicy. But no, he was like, no, I can't. I can't.
Yikes, that's actually really rough.
Yeah, she's annoying though. Because I want to hear the tea. Like I'm interested at first,
the effects.
but I don't want to hear the tapping on the phone.
Because you can see her because you're watching it. She's doing this.
No, that brings up an interesting conversation about friends, though.
Ooh.
I don't have any of those, so I don't know.
That's true.
Go ahead.
Oh, dude.
Shots fired. I have lovers.
I thought that I was okay.
This podcast is between enemies.
Anyways,
Are you saying Josh is too good for me? What are you saying?
it just
You
brings
just
up
said that.
No, I didn't.
It brings up the conversation.
Josh, you are not too good for me.
I
would be in a relationship
Can
with
you shut up?
It's scientifically proven I can't.
Why not?
Welcome to the Wesley Davis podcast.
Oh my god. The Wesley Davis.
Okay, sorry. No, you.
So like it brings up a conversation about how friends nowadays are not like they used to be. A lot.
Okay.
I feel like everyone's too nice to each other, and like people like to be fake friends, and so like shit like that happens.
You have to.
I don't know.
You're on social media.
I
I was
mean,
telling
yeah.
Leslie, I'm gonna talk about the good old days when I didn't have to be on the phone and call you because you only had a landline, and if you're on the internet, you can't be on the phone.
Right, and
so
that
you
was
had
your natural.
excuses.
That
You
was your
didn't
natural
have to.
space.
Like if I wanted to do business on the phone, I would just call them. Hey, you want to come over? Yeah, it's great. Okay, cool. That's it. The end. Off the phone. They would come over, hang out. I don't have to see him for a whole week, and we would still be friends.
Right. Exactly.
Now, if I don't text you back in 2 seconds, I'm the worst.
Yeah. I exactly. Precisely. And it's like you have to be so
So you have
active.
to be fake. You have to be like, oh yes, I love talking to you all the time. You know, every single person on this planet loves their me time. They love their away time.
Yes.
That's why my friend circle is very small, because I don't play into that kind of bullshit.
It's
Well, that's actually one of the first things that I start off with. It's like, look, if you're looking for someone to talk to 24/7, that's not going to be me. You're going to have to find somebody. Like, we're not going to be that kind of friends.
Your dings on your phone say otherwise, but go ahead.
I mean, I have, like, I don't want to, like, I'm not popular or whatever, but I have, like...
Oh my god.
I'm so serious. I have, like, 20 friends that I can honestly say are, like,
Oh
really,
my god.
20?
20? Really
I'm
extremely close to me.
Do you know how
Like
many
my friend
close
is?
friends?
Wesley.
Right there.
They point to each other. No, like, I mean, obviously, some friends take priority over others. Like my roommates, they're really, really close to me. I call them my best friends.
Oh,
like,
that's why Josh is telling me he's ignoring all my texts.
That
and
makes
calls.
sense.
Okay,
yeah, you
I got
fucking suck, right?
You're not a roommate.
I thought that's what you liked.
No. Oh God! No. This got so dark.
You gotta do what you gotta do to get ahead in the world. Hey.
Yikes. But no. I find myself if I find people that are like willing to be like, yeah, dude, look, we don't have to talk for a whole month, but we're still friends. Like if I see you, I'm still gonna be like, yeah, and those are great people to have around because they understand like you're not.
But why do you have to
gonna
have that conversation? That's what kills me.
I agree.
had to have
That's
that.
my whole point.
I have a friend at work that I do that to because I was thinking about leaving my job, so I was telling her, I'm like, look. Like, I may not text you. I don't text anybody. I don't want to come. But we're still friends.
Close.
And she goes, okay, I can deal with that. But she's on, like, always texting her friends and stuff. So I'm like,
Well, see, the craziness
Not gonna
doesn't
lie.
ever stop. So, in our wedding, Wendy had 11 bridesmaids because she's trying not to
hurt anybody's
Exclude
feelings.
hurt anybody's feelings.
Exactly.
That's a lot. Yeah.
We have 11 bridesmaids, and we still have people that are like, oh, well,
Why wasn't I bridesmaid?
I wasn't a
Why didn't you
bridesmaid,
pick me? I
so-
still have that now. Like, there's family people that are like, you didn't choose. my
That's
daughter.
so extra.
Like, exactly. You can't please nobody.
It's just too much. That's why if people are getting married, I encourage them to not.
Elope.
I'm like, yeah, just...
Yeah, actually, I don't believe in marriage as far as me now.
Oh, well, it exists, so...
No. I'm saying for
Just
me.
because you
It's
don't
a
see
construct.
it,
The
doesn't
earth-
mean it's not true.
Yeah,
The earth is round.
I don't
and
believe
marriage
in a
exists.
flat earth.
That's
No,
good.
Are you in a
For me,
relationship?
myself, well, I was, but not anymore. But for me, myself, and I probably will never
You
get
don't think
married.
you'll ever get married?
I don't think I will either.
So I said that at one point,
Yeah.
and I mean I did get married.
But also, like...
I have lots of friends that have said that, like, I'm never getting married. I don't believe in the concept. I mean, that's everybody's ever, because I know people that
Right.
haven't got married either. So
Exactly. I don't know. It's just, it's interesting. I feel like at this point of my life, I don't want to, like...
But see, at what point does...
let the
because
government into my relationship.
There's someone on our team who's got 5 kids with his girlfriend. It's like... Who's been married for 11... I'm not going to say the name because I don't want to...
Put them on blast.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a fact they have 5 kids with the girlfriend.
Yeah, but I don't want to say, like, oh... I don't want to put my opinions...
I feel
I don't
that.
want to judge
Sure.
their situation. I just... To me personally, it's like, you've been with this person for like 11, 12 years. You got 5 kids with them. Like, that's it, Jack. You know?
Well, see, they could probably benefit from being married and like the tax breaks that they could
Right,
get.
that's what...
Yeah.
That's why we
eventually,
got
probably.
married.
No, I
Me and
know,
Wendy don't
Louisiana
really
law
love each
that-
other, so...
that's true.
Yeah, there's common law marriage.
Yeah.
This person doesn't live in Louisiana, but yeah,
Mm.
I think there is.
No, it's
common
not my
law.
Josh. If he's gonna,
Oh
shit
yeah,
over years.
yeah, go ahead.
Too late. Government's already there then.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't know. It's definitely interesting that the common law marriage is a thing in Louisiana. I
does
don't
that
believe
mean?
in it. It just means that if you live with someone for like more than 5, 7
yeah,
years,
it's
Something
like
like
a
that, yeah.
long time.
you are considered
You're basically
legally
married.
married.
Oh,
Yeah, because
interesting.
I've got a girl I used to work with. She was with her boyfriend 10 years, and so it's
Mhm.
common law now. They're
Yeah.
together. They're not married.
Right. It's interesting.
Me and Wendy didn't love each other when we got married. We still don't. I mean, we only did it for the tax breaks and all the free gifts when you do get
Yeah.
married.
Crucial.
We get
Like,
divorced
why-
every so often, get remarried just
Yeah.
to
Yeah, just
get
to-
more gifts.
Great
Right.
financial
Keep it surprising. You know?
acumen.
That's
Well, no,
that's
we
really
just,
what we thought.
if we need new appliances in the house,
We're doing a remodel.
Thing
We're getting
is-
divorced.
When you get married, you'll get like 4 quesadilla makers.
That's
so,
You can shit on one, cover it up with the other one, and then still have 2 to use.
right. The thing is,
Yeah.
we never used it even once, which
I
is
don't think we still
unfortunate.
have it. Do we still have
No,
it?
we got rid of it.
Did we? Okay.
Oh, but you have 4, so there's 3 more.
Well, no, we seriously did get like 6 crock pots.
We did.
Oh my god, give me one.
We were like
I don't
Oprah.
have it anymore.
We were like Oprah with crock
Yeah.
pots.
You
We're
get a
like,
crock
you get a
pot,
crock
yeah.
pot, you get a crock pot. Thankfully, her sister, well, not thankfully, but unfortunately, her sister and her husband like got flooded out of their house.
Thankfully, they got flooded.
Yeah.
so they
Oh my
needed
God.
stuff. So we gave them all of our stuff.
Thankfully, they could take all of our hand-me-down crap, so it was good. No.
Nah, they were new. All stuff was new.
The one thing that I didn't get on our registry that I really wanted
Thank you.
was a glass, and inside it had like an apple juice looking liquid and like little foam beads, and it was like a big mug, so it looked like a full beer anytime and you could
drank
drink
out of
it or
it.
whatever, and it was
Right.
you could put whatever liquid you want to.
And
but
we
it
hate
looks like
beer,
you
so
drink
we would have like water, apple juice.
Right,
so
and I just thought it'd be
anything else.
funny, and
my
Wendy's
gosh.
like, you can't put that on the registry. My family's gonna see this. I was like, so?
So I said that, but when I told him, fine, you can do it. When I went back to my house, my mom was like, you better not have put that on your registry. Like, that's how serious my mom was.
That's funny. I
You
think I
better
don't
go
know.
there and take it off.
I don't know if I don't like the idea of marriage. I just don't like the idea of like a huge wedding.
I don't either. Because like my girlfriend and I have been together for over 2 years. We've lived together for over 2 years. But I just don't see us ever like having the whole ceremony. I don't see myself ever being with anyone else.
So the ceremony is just really, it's not for you. It's
Yeah.
annoying.
No, it's definitely for your family.
Right. Which is why I believe in a destination wedding with like 5 people.
There you go, do it.
Yeah.
Like, go to
I love
fucking
that.
Bora Bora, like just.
I will say it is
Because everything we did was dictated literally by both of our parents. Like, everything.
It is
Really?
cliche, but like literally the most magical moment is, seeing you for the first time, just walking down the aisle or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that is
There's some truth to that.
that is the one thing that I treasure from that day. Because even the food, I didn't really get to enjoy the food because
Yeah.
we had to walk around and thank people and greet
Yeah.
them. And
You just see Wendy come up, you're like, my bitch.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he said.
It was really funny in our vows. The priest was like, or the preacher, I guess. He was like, "And do you, Wendy, swear to abide by everything your husband says?" And I go,
That's not what happened. But he did laugh.
Yeah.
Like
She
they
goes,
said that
"Yes."
part, and he's laughing, and I'm like, we're in front of all these people. I'm like, are you serious?
He's always a joker.
I had to be careful because I kept looking places I shouldn't have been looking yet. During the
Oh,
ceremony.
you freak.
And I was,
He's just like...
I was trying.
People saw it too because they looked at me and they're like, he laughed and he stared at you like, and I was like, yeah, I know.
I couldn't help it. She was
In
gorgeous.
front of everybody.
She was
Too pretty, I'm
absolutely
sorry.
gorgeous.
Anyways.
I love that!
Every time I tell Wendy she's pretty, she makes this face and she goes,
You do the same thing.
you did it. You started this.
Anyways. So yeah, the wedding's not for each other.
It's absolutely, and
Like-
Right.
no matter how many
Both
people
of
you
our
try to
parents
please.
said if we shoved cake in each other's face that they would walk out.
Yeah.
Like that's how crazy like people's like, and that's why like after the wedding I got told that, oh well, this person's mad at you because you didn't do this and this person wanted you to do this, and people expected so much that I was like, that's why when people, I feel bad when people are like, oh, your wedding day. I was like, yeah, that's probably one of the worst days of our relationship.
Wow. That's
So the thing is,
interesting.
we had we had half a traditional cake and then half like superhero themed cake. And like I had like superhero lapels. She had it in her bouquet. It's like
Yeah.
only one person came, and we didn't tell anybody to, but only one person came dressed up as Wonder Woman, and they brought a kid dressed up as like Batman or
Yeah,
something.
it's
Oh.
cute.
And we were like, these people get it.
They
Yeah.
get
They
it.
get
It's
us,
awesome.
and they get what we wanted for
And
the
she
event.
served the
Yeah.
punch. It was great.
That's really good.
And like nobody else was dressed up, and obviously,
You didn't have
our
to, like,
two
we didn't
families
care.
and stuff. Yeah, we
Yeah.
didn't care, but like, if you come dressed up to our wedding dressed like Wonder Woman, like obviously you get us.
We will forever
cake
be
is-
entombed in my memory.
Right,
Yeah.
like that's what we were going for, is having fun, being goofy. We like superhero
Right.
stuff. Do that,
Precisely.
But
I know.
my brother and his wife just got married, and
Nice.
good grief, man. I was best man for him. He was best man for me. Me and my brother are pretty close, I'd say.
You don't love
I like him.
You like him. Yeah, we've established
I
that.
put up with him. But her mother
Oh.
was just like, I want this, or I'm not being here. Just so like manipulative and like vindictive against her father. They recently got separated a few years back, so they're still pretty fresh.
So she was trying to make it about her.
Right.
Kind of, yeah.
Absolutely. It was even to the point where, like, because we did it and it worked out where we took pictures before, and so she was going to do the same thing. And her mom was like, no, you're not doing that. And to the point where I was like, I wasn't even in the wedding, and I wanted to go over there just like, I want to use my punch for that.
Yeah,
moment.
yeah.
That's what I would use that for.
See? And the cops would come up and they'd say, all right, why'd you
What
punch
happened?
her?
And I would tell them, and they go, you
She
can
was
punch her
trying
again
to
if you
take-
want to. I mean,
take
you probably
the
give me the
wedding.
freebie.
Yeah, we're going to write that one off. You get another one today.
Yeah.
It does sound like a good policy until you get punched in the face.
Yeah, that's not.
But see,
what
that's
I
the
said.
thing. If I get punched in the face, what am I doing to get punched in the face? If it's not a good reason.
So we're trying to tell y'all that it's
Off
good
to
to get
jail.
married, and just don't have a wedding.
Right. No, Wendy's my best friend, so it's
love
really
that.
worked out for me.
My
Yeah, but he's
girlfriend's my
saying the
best
same
friend as
thing.
well.
You're like,
yeah,
you're
we're best friends as well.
but they're not married.
But I mean, something could change,
Right,
Right
and
now,
that's
it's just
Exactly, and I'm leaving myself
Yeah.
open to that. It's like it'll probably change.
But right now, it's like, yeah, I want to be with you for the rest of my life, but I don't see us needing to go through that whole ceremony and this and that. To,
Yeah. I had to
establish
convince Wendy. I was like, look, it'll be a good idea. Please.
Financially, it's good for us. Like, I know you hate me.
I don't
but-
remember that happening.
She's
at
like,
all.
Please.
Yeah,
I cornered her, when we first started dating, I cornered her. I was like, all right, so
that did happen.
we're dating now? And
That
she
did
goes,
happen. Yeah.
I guess.
It's actually the opposite. It's me. Embarrassed just a little bit. I'm
No.
just kidding.
You
No,
did
I
that
did.
to him?
Yeah.
Yeah, she
because-
cornered me, and she's like, all
because
right,
he
what are we? And I
liked
was like,
me.
what? What?
He liked me and I liked him, but it was like stupid, like beginning where we were like giggle, giggle. We're not gonna
Yeah.
tell each other. So finally, I was like, "Are we dating or not?"
Yeah,
And he's
let's
like,
lay
and
this
he goes,
shit.
"What? What are you talking about?" Like literally, and I'm like, "Are you serious?"
Dang.
I was so determined. I was like, I'm just not.
You trying to act like a pimp?
No, I was.
He was never gonna let me.
I was
know.
done with it. I was done with the entire idea. I
of
was
dating.
Yeah.
gonna die alone.
I mean, I've been at that point for sure.
And I was like, all right, I don't care at this point. And she's like giving all these really super obvious hints, and I was like, yeah, I mean, I like her, but I'm not about to go.
I mean, I went like I was not even working that day. I drove 40 minutes to my work to hang out with him, and then we walked in the cold, and he had a jacket and I didn't, and he let me do all that knowing I liked him. He did tell me though. He was like, "I'm a jerk. I'm gonna let you know right now."
I was like, yeah, I did tell her. And now anytime we fight, I'm like, I told you in the
Told
third
you I
grade.
was sure.
You can't
Yeah.
fucking say nothing. I told
I
you.
told you. I
She's
let
like, you
walk
can't
in
say
the
that. We've
cold.
been together for 5 years. What's going
Yeah.
on? It's like, well, I tried.
Yeah, that's my past too. Is like I'll always say like, look, I'm a fucking asshole. So just get rid
You
of it.
are. You really no.
I miss that energy from you.
That asshole energy. Yeah.
So yeah, we laughed at everything here. We
I
had
think it's I think it's a TTG.
We had some goofs, some gaffs, and a lot of laughs, I think.
Let's do it again.
Some Matt.
I enjoyed it.
And some Wendy.
Thank you guys.
And then Josh and myself.
Yeah, I guess we mattered.
Yeah. Really, all that matters is the guest at this point.
Yeah.
You know.
Thank you for popping my podcast cherry.
Yeah,
Of course,
This is Matt's
dude.
first time. Matt has never had a conversation with 4 people for an hour and a half. So
With a microphone on the table.
Oh, is there a mic? I didn't know.
Yeah.
I need to,
We usually forget about it, you know.
we need to edit some stuff.
All right. Well, thank y'all so much. Thanks for listening.
Go ahead, like and subscribe if you haven't. Thanks, Dan, for listening. If you're still on.
Poor
Dan. Oh, loyal
Like,
Dan.
no, I heard tips. I'm out.
He's gone.
Thanks, Mom.
Goodbye, world.
My
Thank
2
y'all.
views.